Sorry, man, I didn't see everybody over here.
Can Melissa give me the green light when she's ready? I think that's Rod's. Laura, that's Rod's. That is Rod's computer. Okay. We got a quorum. All right, good evening, everyone. It is Tuesday, May 19th at 5:33. We are a little over, but we will get there. I am calling this regular meeting of the Wake County Board of Education to order, and I would like to welcome those of you all who are here in the audience, as well as those of you all who are watching online. The Wake County Board of Education meetings are conducted for the purpose of carrying out the official business of the Wake County Public School System. The public is cordially invited to attend the meetings and to observe the board as it conducts its official business. Any persons who willfully interrupt, disrupt, or cause any disturbance at the official meeting may be directed to leave by the presiding officer. Members of the audience should show respect for speakers by refraining from loud comments or any other disruptions. Disruptions by any persons or persons will be subject to action in ordinance with General Statute 143-318.17. We do have a quorum. I will invite you all to stand and join me in the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I should have had our students lead us in the pledge, so I'll keep that in mind in the future. So we have a quorum. Hopefully all board members are signed into Assembly. I will need a motion to approve tonight's agenda. Thank you. So it's a motion by the Vice Chair, and it's been seconded by Mr. Haggerty. Make sure everyone is in Assembly so you can vote to approve tonight's agenda. Who's? Okay, gotcha. I was just making sure. So we have a new process for those of y'all who are attending for the first time, where instead of doing roll call, our votes are, we vote online, and it'll be displayed for the public, and just giving technology a little bit of moment to tabulate our votes. So our consent agenda has passed unanimously. So for tonight's first recognition item, we will recognize our 25-26 Teacher of the Year semifinalists or finalists. So I will welcome Dr. Mutillo to the podium.
Good evening, Chair Swanson, Vice Chair Hershey, members of the board, and Dr. Taylor. We have 10 incredible educators who have been selected as finalists for the 2026 Teacher of the Year, each with their own impressive stories and teaching philosophies. A talented group of students from Middle Creek High has been hard at work crafting video profiles on each of them that will be played in full at tomorrow night's Teacher of the Year banquet. But we wanted to give you a brief glimpse tonight of those videos before we recognize these teachers for their excellence. So
In my classroom, I feel like, excellence really blooms. Basically in the heart of every child. But it really blooms because they are learning to be empowered by each other. They're engaged in collaborative learning. They are trying to make each other better.
I can tell you all of my students' favorite color. I can tell you what they like to do after school. And that helps me also find what motivates them, which also helps them feel more comfortable in my classroom, knowing it's a safe space where they feel valued and seen.
I feel like as a ESL teacher, that's our job, is to give that flowering plant the care it needs to grow again and to bloom again through the language support, through the scaffolds we provide to our students so that they can show their excellence when they're supported that way.
Chorus is a collaborative class, and my students have to work together to make beautiful music. Seeing this generation of students work as a unit to accomplish a goal helps me have faith in the future of our society, and I know that we can work together to accomplish good in the world.
So it's like finding those tiny moments when toward the product I see potential and I notice that they finally did something that they've been working toward, and I highlight that in front of everyone.
I am deeply passionate about nurturing a growth mindset in my students. They understand that their brain is like a muscle and that there's neurons in their brain that are connecting whenever they try challenging things. They learn about the magic in mistakes, and I also really try to encourage students to be both leaders and learners and being proud and excited for both.
Middle schoolers, they're a very unique group of humans, and they don't care about the pressure society has. So they're very free thinkers. Sometimes it's a little ambiguous and big, but they don't know a limit yet, which is really insightful. I hope my students always remember that I believed in them when they didn't believe in themselves. And I also hope that they know that learning is not just about the serious academics, but it's also just as important as having joy within the classroom and learning new things.
We focus on not what everyone else is doing. We focus on the goals that are just set just for them. The best feeling is when I see a child smile at me like, look what I did, and we don't compare with anyone else. They're focused on their potential and what they can do.
Showing them that I believe in them is the first step, and then they will grow from there, whether it's praising them or celebrating them or telling their parents about something that they've accomplished, just making sure they realize that they're seen and that they are improving.
All right. It is now my pleasure to present our 10 finalists for 2026 Teacher of the Year this evening. These finalists were nominated by their schools and selected based on an evaluation of portfolios and videos, along with observations and a panel interview. We know how hard our teachers work just doing their regular day job, and I really appreciate all of you going through this very arduous process to get here this evening. When I call your name, please come to the front and be greeted by Dr. Taylor. We ask that you remain at the front of the room until all recipients have come forward. Ahmed Vanamrani, English as a second language teacher, Reedy Creek Elementary. Emily Dunn, cross-categorical resource teacher, Hortons Creek Elementary. Teresa Howard, first grade teacher, Barton Pond Elementary. Nicole Duarcy, sixth grade mathematics teacher, Wendell Magnet Middle. Krista Dingus, third grade teacher, Combs Magnet Elementary. Claire Johnson, accompanied by her principal, Miss Katie Burnett. Miss Johnson is a kindergarten teacher at Washington Magnet Elementary. Kristen Mayers, accompanied by her principal, Miss Leslie Taylor. Kristen is a seventh grade social studies teacher at Moore Square Magnet Middle. Dr. Shana Barr, music teacher, Swift Creek Elementary. The following finalists were unable to be with us in person tonight, but we celebrate this remarkable achievement for them and look forward to celebrating them tomorrow night. My team, Monty, 7th grade social studies teacher at Apex Friendship Middle. And yeah, go ahead. You take that. And Sarah Cronenwetter, chorus teacher at South Garner High. I ask our 8 finalists, to turn around and face the board for their congratulations. You come on. You can just come right here.
And I'll just say on behalf of the board, congratulations and enjoy this moment. I'll say I sat through all of you all's interview, and you all are outstanding educators, and so we are grateful for the work that you do daily. And we look forward to celebrating you all, not just tomorrow, but for the rest of the school year and next school year. So thank you all, and you do not have to stay this entire meeting. I know you all have a lot of great things to do, so thank you, and we look forward to seeing you all tomorrow.
Thanks all.
Thank you. Thank you, Dr. Mutillo. And I do want to clarify, I did misspeak, and thank you, Attorney Malone, for catching that. We did not approve the consent agenda. We approved tonight's meeting agenda. So I just want to make sure that was taken care of. So those who are speaking on tonight's agenda, you have not missed your opportunity. So we have another information item coming from our Chief of Staff's office. So recognizing Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. So I will welcome Dr. Chavis, Principal Cleveland, and our friends from Green Hope High School. Good evening.
Good evening. Good evening, Chair Swanson, Vice Chair Hershey, members of the board, and Dr. Taylor. Thank you for the opportunity for us to recognize Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. This celebration reflects our district's ongoing commitment to ensuring every student and family feel seen, valued, and represented in our schools each and every day. Guided by our core beliefs, our educators intentionally connect students' cultures, histories, and experiences to teaching and learning across all grade levels and content areas as reflected in Board Policy 1150. By continuing to learn about and honor the diverse backgrounds of our students and families, we strengthen our collective ability to create meaningful, inclusive learning experiences where every student can see themselves positively reflected in their education. Tonight, we are honored and excited to highlight Green Hope High School and the work they've engaged in the local, state, and national level aligned to this Heritage Month. So I am proud to present and call on Principal Allie Cleveland of Green Hope High School, who will provide us with an overview of tonight's honor and recognition and introduce our teacher and student leaders.
Thank you, Dr. Chavis, and thank you all for having me here tonight. I'm Allie Cleveland, and I'm the principal at Green Hope High School and a longtime teacher in Wake County. So Green Hope High School is truly a global school with students from over 70 different countries speaking 54 different languages. Since its opening in 1999, we've seen a steady increase in our Asian student population. In fact, as of today, 39% of our student body is of Asian descent. So this month has a very special place in the heart of our students and our community. Those of you that were able to walk through the front were able to, hopefully were able to stop and see some of our student art, and I think they're going to bring it out. In just a moment, I will turn it over to Ms. Poppy, who is our Fine Arts Department Chair and a co-collaborator in this art project, along with Mr. Richardson. Mr. Richardson was unable to be here today. He's traveling to one of his many, many places that he gets to go for recognition and extended learning. But he did send a virtual message that we are excited for you to see. Mr. Richardson is our Teacher of the Year. He is a Green Hope grad, a Tar Heel, and also he is the founder of an award-winning Asian American history, oral history project, and wrote the curriculum for our new Asian American Studies course. Shortly after that, we have 3 of our wonderful students that will come up to share their experiences in both the project and the course. And finally, we have a short performance, which I'm really excited about, from a few members of our K-pop dance club. So again, thank you so much for having us here. And on that note, I'll turn it over to Ms. Poppy.
Good evening, everyone. Thank you so much for letting us participate in this wonderful month and showcase the artwork that our students have created. It was a wonderful collaboration with Mr. Colin Richardson, who had already created a grant with other musicians, and they were able to do that in February. And he came to me and he was just like, I just did music. Do you want to do visual arts? And I was like, absolutely. So we were able to write a grant and get it from the Jack Miller Teaching America. So not only are we tying in these wonderful interviews and information that his Asian American Studies students learned about and collected for the first grant, my students got real world opportunities to then work with them and create a visual representation of their research. And so they had to be collaborators, they had to listen, they had to not just make a piece that was all about them and what they got, so they actually got to pull in someone else's voice with theirs and create a collaborative piece. They also got to go on field trips to the North Carolina archives, and they got to see wonderful pieces of alien documentation, which we've had from different levels, as well as artwork that, I don't know if y'all have ever been to the archives. It's fantastic, and I highly recommend going to the stacks. It's very fun. And so my students got to see that, but we also went to the North Carolina Museum of Art. And what was wonderful for my students to do is that they were the experts in that aspect, in that piece. So when they were with Mr. Richardson's students, they got to be the leaders and be the people that helped kind of talk to them about what was going on in the art piece, while his students were learning about what they liked and what they didn't like and what they kind of wanted to use in their collaborative piece. It became this wonderful opportunity. And so some of the students before you were highly inspired by the North Carolina Museum of Art, some were inspired by the NC Archives, and some were just inspired by the interviews that came from Mr. Richardson's students. So it was just a wonderful collaborative piece, and I was very lucky to do that. And we're very lucky also to showcase it into our community next Tuesday, May 26th at the Cary Arts Center. So first 100 people get ice cream if you want to come. But thank you so much for letting us showcase their wonderful and beautiful pieces. And if you want to see more, not just the 4 students, please come May 26th. Thank you so much.
Hello and happy AAPI Heritage Month. My name is Colin Richardson. I'm from Green Hope High School. I'm really happy to be joining you virtually to be talking about the cool things that we have been doing and that Wake County has been enabling to show the importance of Asian American and Pacific Islander perspectives. A little bit of context before I get started briefly. The rise of the Asian American Pacific Islander community has been really notable in the country since 1965, and especially in Wake County. We've seen a huge growth in the foreign-born population over the past 30 years, and a huge portion of that has been from Asia, and it is not, of course, distributed evenly across Wake County. So here in western Wake County, where Green Hope High School is, we've got a major ethnic enclave of Asian Americans, and at my school, the way that translates, when I was a student way back when, it was about 6% Asian American, about 20% Asian American, and now the student body population is about 40% Asian American. So all of these stories deserve to be told and deserve to be highlighted, but I think this really illustrates the importance of centering these voices today. We've done this in a variety of different ways. I've been asked to keep this super brief, so I'll just run through some of the highlights. The Asian American Oral History Project is something that we've been working on for the past 4 years. We have gathered stories from over 70 narrators and connected them to hundreds of locations across the United States, and especially with a focus on Asia. And so this really allows students to think critically about their community's place in the world. They get to communicate and collaborate on presentations here. Hi, thank you for coming to our most recent presentation, Assistant Superintendent Chavis. We have a emphasis on American ideals in our most recent presentation, and students have even been asked to come to, we went to the National Council for the Social Studies in DC, and students presented to really august audiences there. This has been recognized by people outside of our community. The Oral History Association gives an award to one high school group every 2 years, and they reached out and told us they wanted to honor our work. So here's the students accepting that great recognition. They have presented this work in the community. Here we are at a culture night. The wonderful Hortons Creek Elementary down the road invite us to share our work. And a middle school in Martin County in Williamson actually asked us to come and zoom in and teach their students how to do their own oral history project. So we really believe that this work does not belong just in the classroom, but it belongs all over. But we are lucky that it does belong in the classroom because Wake County has made history in North Carolina. We are the first public school district that has an Asian American Studies class, and Green Hope is the first class to have that. We've done all sorts of things like look at how food plays a role in Asian American culture, how history plays a role. This is an examination of the incarceration camps that were set up for Japanese Americans during World War II, and also look at the varied experiences of different communities. So these are parts of a student exhibit of their work. We've welcomed guest speakers from all over the country. Here we have Dr. Ermalam from Harvard. Here we have Dr. Kevin Kim, the director of the UNC Asian American Center, Sophie To, wonderful, wonderful scholars who have shared their work. And we've gone into the community. So this was a field trip where we went to the state capitol and met with Asian American legislators such as Ms. Servania and Senator Chowdhury. And then we went to the state archive. And the way that students just lit up seeing Asian American history represented in our state's history was really incredible and speaks to the importance of making space for all different cultures in our classes. I also, as part of this class, partnered us with the Democracy and Dialogue program from the Smithsonian. We're the only school in Wake County to do this program. We were partnered with a virtual school, so they had students from all these different parts of the country and indeed from the world, and we worked together to think about what does home mean for us, how has that changed over time. So I wrote a lesson on comparing demographic trends to different areas, and also thinking about how different people's experiences shape who they are. So this is a visualization of an oral history that students gathered. All of this was presented at an exhibit supported by the 4C grant from Wake County. So huge thank you to Wake County for continuing to support this work. And it culminated in a concert featuring music exclusively composed by Asian American composers. Here we have the inimitable Miss Ju, and Mr. Botwick down here, not pictured, is our incredible Green Hope Orchestra conductor, Miss Lewis. So lots of people have come together to make this happen. I know we've gone at breakneck speed, but I know we want to hear from our wonderful students as well. I'll just end by saying that there's lots more to learn about, so if you want to check out our website, it is here, and we have an exhibit coming out 1 week from today, the 23rd, at Cary Art Center. And the class is going to continue to grow at Green Hope, and thanks to the great work of people like Dr. King, it is approved for all of Wake County. So we are excited and hopeful to see how other schools pick that up and run with it. Again, thank you so much for having us, and happy Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I'm Colin Richardson, and I so appreciate the work that we are all doing to make sure that all students are feeling welcome and recognized in our community.
The mics are adjustable.
Oh, awesome. Good evening, Chair, Vice Chair, members of the board, Dr. Taylor, and everyone here in attendance. My name is Selena Santosa Harjo. I'm a senior at Green Hope High School. This is my second year with the Asian American Oral History Project, and I'm the historian for the project.
My name is Paulina Aguiva. I'm a junior at Green Hope High School, and this is my first year with the Asian American Oral History Project.
Hi, my name is Anandi Selvaraju. I'm a senior at Green Hope High School, and this is my second year with the Asian American Oral History Project. So we're going to tell you a little bit about our perspective of the class, given you already heard from Ms. Cleveland and Mr. Richardson a little bit about it. So I joined the Oral History Project last year, and it began in 2023. We all know that RTP is like a cultural melting pot, and we see a lot of Asian American people in this area. And like mentioned before, there's almost 40% Asian Americans at Green Hope High. So we partnered with the Southern Oral History Project alongside UNC Chapel Hill to make our own branch of it, in which students could, in their free time, interview people that they knew and find narratives from members of our community. So me, for example, my first year, I actually interviewed a father and a son. The father, he runs a language school in Cary, and it has upwards of 600 students. So hearing from him how he wanted to spread Asian American influence and culture to students and the growing generation made a huge impact. And then also hearing from his son, who's my generation, like how he was able to continue that through like our age group definitely changed my perspective on a lot of things. And then this year I was able to interview someone who works alongside Duke, who helps with domestic violence, specifically in Asian American communities. So this project has been a way for me to kind of branch out into my own community and see what like Asian American people are doing. And all of this actually became like a part of the class itself, which Paulina will tell you a little bit about.
So, apart from being part of the Oral History Project, we also piloted Mr. Richardson's Asian American Studies class. This class was very unique because it focused on the experiences of Asian Americans throughout American history and today. From colonial America to modern-day North Carolina, we learned about the role of Asian Americans in our nation's development. For me, this class gave me an opportunity to dive deeper into American history, learning about perspectives that are not usually taught in high school courses. Through engaging class activities planned by Mr. Richardson, we also learned about Asian Americans in North Carolina specifically. This made me more aware of the history and culture of my state. Ultimately, this class made me a more informed citizen of my country and community. Now, given the large Asian American community in our area, Wake County, we would love to see this class spread to other schools in Wake County. In our time of increasing social divisions, we believe that it's very important for students to learn about the different groups of people they're living about. Now on to Selena.
I would just like to add on that, like, as an Asian American, piloting this class, seeing myself reflected in the classroom was really impactful for me. I grew up not really having the privilege to see that in classrooms. And so, this class has really shown us that we have a place in American history, we belong, and that we can continue to forge our own history no matter our background. Beyond the classroom, the Asian American Oral History Project has really helped me to find my own power as an individual, as working part of a greater cause. Our outreach just this past year has been quite impressive, in my opinion. Personally, I've taken 8 oral histories over the past 2 years, with narrators ranging from environmental justice lawyers to public policy students just down the road at Chapel Hill. At the local and state level, we've had huge support from Representatives Maria Cervania and Representative Yao Liu. They've actually proposed a bill at the state level to kind of implement more Asian American studies into North Carolina curriculums. And we've also received community collaboration and guidance from other North Carolinian schools, North Carolina Asian Americans Together, and UNC faculty, and of course the Southern Oral History Project itself. At the national level, the project's board members, including me, had the privilege to share our work at the National Council for the Social Studies in DC as the youngest presenters in attendance and the only high school presenters, I think in the past half decade. So really, it showed me and my fellow project members the kind of tangible change that we can bring about, even and especially as young people, if we simply put ourselves out there and advocate for improvements that we can see amongst our community, that we can see can come about in our community. And so my project members and I were inspired and were motivated to dive into those like decision-making spaces to advocate, again, for the continuous improvement of our communities. And the Asian American Oral History Project has just been an incredible avenue for us to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello, board members and our audience. I'm Sarsi Shah, and I'm the co-president of the K-pop Dance Club at Green Hope, and thank you so much for the invitation on behalf of all of our club. We're so thankful for the opportunity to come and perform here and bring the energy on behalf of all of the Asian American students that come and perform at our showcases, and thank you.
Thank you so much, everyone, for coming to celebrate Asian American Pacific Islander Heritage Month. And, I was just talking to my family the other night. It's like K-pop Demon Hunter, and I did not have an idea that that song from there actually won an Oscar. So that was wild for me, and I just have to reflect back, in my, Chinese heritage and going all the way back to even before my family came into the United States, but but the kind of the world that this country was back in the days of the 1884, I think it was the Chinese Exclusion Act, till now, the kind of acceptance that we have here in this country of Asian Americans, and even the culture, the food, all the things that we are so ingrained in our individual cultures in the Asian Asian American and Pacific Islanders. They all have different cultures, but also have different unique heritage. And so it's good that we can have a class that is celebrating the differences, but also the uniqueness and the commonalities that we all have. My personal journey in coming to the United States back in 1977, the world was very different back then. I was one of only two school because I was good in art. They sent me to the adjacent middle school so I can have an advanced art class. So those were kind of the innovations that they had back in Texas. And so I'm just very thankful that in this day and age we have such great acceptance of Asian Americans and from all different countries. And I really am thankful that we have a school system that is able to enrich our children's understanding of Asian Americans in all their different histories and different cultures. So thank you so much.
Thank you all, and thank you, Dr. Ng, and to our students. And you all do not have to stay the entire meeting because I know tomorrow is a school day. So thank you for sharing your gifts and talents with us. So our next 3 information items are coming from our academic office. So I will welcome Dr. Hill, Ms. Woodson, and/or Dr. Norfleet to present you all's information items once we get the podium taken forth. I believe it's the Wake WCPSS School Counselor Program, School Counselor of the Year, as well as the Student Assistance Program. See if your mics are working now.
Good evening. Oh, okay. Good evening, Chair Swanson, Vice Chair Hershey, members of the board, and Dr. Taylor. Tonight, the Wake County Public School System School Counseling Department is proud to celebrate 2 Wake County Public School System schools that recently earned the prestigious Recognized ASCA Model Program, also known as RAMP, designation from the American School Counselor Association. This national recognition honors schools that demonstrate an outstanding commitment to delivering comprehensive, data-informed school counseling programs aligned with the ASCA national model. Please join us in congratulating Green Hope High School, and Panther Creek High School. So earning RAMP status is considered one of the highest honors for school counseling programs nationwide and reflects the professionalism, dedication, and impact of school counselors who work daily to support students' academic achievement, social emotional wellness, and college and career readiness. Notably, Green Hope High School and Panther Creek High School were the only schools in North Carolina to receive this recognition during the 2026 award cycle. That alone gives them another round of applause. Both schools demonstrated exceptional use of student data, measurable goals, and targeted interventions to improve student outcomes and ensure equitable access to opportunities and support services. At Green Hope High School, the counseling department strengthened student-centered supports and increased college readiness among historically underrepresented junior student groups on the ACT by 53%. At Panther Creek High School, counselors used student outcome data to identify areas of need among underclassmen and implemented focused intervention designed to reduce retention rates and improve academic success for students in grades 9 through 11. The RAMP designation is awarded for 5 years and represents a sustained commitment to excellence in school counseling programming. Congratulations again to the students, counselors, administrators, and school communities of Green Hope High School and Panther Creek High School for this outstanding achievement. Again, the school counseling department would like to recognize, School Counselor of the Year recognition is a distinguished honor celebrating exemplary dedication to student success, leadership, and excellence in comprehensive school counseling practices. This award recognizes counselors who extend beyond academics to support student social emotional development, well-being, and future readiness while serving as models of excellence across our district. The Wake County Public School System School Counseling Department is proud to recognize Nicole Simpson as the 2026 WCPSS School Counselor of the Year. Nicole currently serves as a school counselor at Barton Pond Elementary School, where she has been since the school opened in 2022. She has dedicated the past 8 years to serving students, families, and her school community through the profession of school counseling. Nicole's leadership, vision, and commitment to excellence played a significant role in Barton Pond Elementary becoming one of only 12 WCPSS schools to earn the prestigious RAMP designation in 2025. Barton Pond Principal Stephanie Costa shared, Nicole is enthusiastically tackled the task of building a comprehensive school counseling program from the ground up. She approached the role with thoughtful planning, optimism, and dedication. She understands the community's needs and strongly aligns her work with our school's mission of growing all staff and students in a caring environment centered on community and collaboration. Her holistic counseling approach supports the academic, social, emotional, and career development of Barton Pond students. Nicole's dedication to students, collaborative leadership, and unwavering commitment to fostering a supportive and inclusive school community embody the very best of the school counseling profession. Again, join me in congratulating Nicole Simpson as the 2026 Wake County Public School System School Counselor of the Year. The Wake County Public School System Student Assistance Program Coordinator of the Year recognition honors exceptional dedication to supporting students' mental health, well-being, and overall success. This distinction recognizes individuals who create safe, responsible, and student-centered environments while serving as role models of compassion, advocacy, and support across our district. The Wake County Public School System School Counseling Department is proud to recognize Jody Deskus as the 2026 Wake County Public School System Student Assistance Program Coordinator of the Year, the first recipient of this distinguished recognition. Jody has served as a SAP coordinator at the Wake Forest High School for the past 18 years. In this role, she has dedicated her career to supporting students and families by assessing needs, connecting them with critical resources, and ensuring students receive the care and support necessary to thrive both inside and outside of the classroom. The vital part of Jody's work involves building and maintaining strong relationships with community organizations, nonprofits, funding agencies, and support programs to ensure students and families have access to essential services and opportunities. One former student shared, "She's a true advocate for those who need it most, always going above and beyond to ensure students have the resources and opportunities they need to succeed. Her compassion, empathy, and commitment to her students make her an invaluable asset to the school and the community. She was a lifeline. She always provided unwavering support, offering guidance and a safe space where I felt heard and understood. She helped me navigate difficult situations, set achievable goals, and believe in my potential when I doubted myself. Thanks to her sincere support, I not only survived high school, I thrived." Jody's unwavering commitment to students, family, and the broader community exemplifies the heart of student support services and the profound impact one individual can have on the lives of young people. Please join me again in congratulating Jody Deskus as our 2026 Wake County Public School System Student Assistance Program, or SAP, Coordinator of the Year. Thank you so much. Oh, one more. Now we will have our recognition, our 13th annual Wake County Public School System Stand Up, Speak Out Bullying Prevention Video Contest, kicked off during National Bullying Prevention Month in October 2025 and concluded in January 2026. We're proud to recognize the following elementary, middle, and high school winners. In third place, Parkside Elementary. In second place, Yates Mill Elementary. And in first place, Brentwood Magnet Elementary. We will now share our Brentwood Magnet Elementary first place video for elementary schools.
Welcome to Is It Bullying, the game show where our contestants compete for the grand title of the Anti-Bullying Champion and the Anti-Bullying Trophy. Is it bullying? Round 1. If someone tells you they don't like your fit, is that a mean moment or is it bullying? Mean moment. Right. If it's a one-time comment, it's just a mean moment. Round 2. If someone keeps kicking you on purpose and laughing with their friends about it after, you ask them to stop. Is that a mean moment or bullying? Mean moment. I'm sorry, that's actually bullying. Bullying behaviors happen more than once. Round 3! If someone is making fun of you and making up rumors about you after you tell them to stop, is that bullying or a mean moment? That sounds like bullying. That's right! Social bullying involves hurting someone's reputation or relationships. Round 4! A kid in your class says you're as dumb as a leaf. Is it bullying or a mean moment? Is it bullying? No, that's just a mean moment. Round 5! Last one. Someone in your class threatens you with harm. Is that bullying or a mean moment? Is it bullying? That's right. Verbal bullying can include taunting, threat, or threatening to cause harm. And our winner, who gets the anti-bullying trophy, is Contestant 2! Yay! Remember to reach out to a trusted adult when something feels wrong and if you see bullying in action. This episode was brought to you by our sponsors. Stand up and speak out! Stand up, speak out! Thanks for playing! Is it bullying?
Good job, Brentwood Magnet. And for our middle schools, in third place, Mills Park Middle School. Second place, Pine Hollow Middle School. And first place, Apex Friendship Middle School. Please share the video of Apex Friendship Middle. Great job, Apex Friendship Middle. And for high school, third place, Wake Forest High School. Second place, Green Hope High School. Green Hope is on fire tonight, aren't they? And first place, Wakefield High School. Please share Wakefield High's video.
Welcome to the Bowling Hall of Fame. Now, in order to get into these hallowed halls, you must have achieved a lifetime of selfish ambition, not caring who you step on to get to the top. Yes.
So, how does one become a bully?
In order to be the ultimate bad guy, some of our greatest bullies have to start early. Some of them have started as early as even middle and high school. Yes. Is it easy to start? It's becoming easier. About 1 in 5 students have reported to be bullied in the past year. Yes. Are there different types of bullies? There is verbal bullying, such as name-calling and teasing. There's social bullying, such as spreading rumors and exclusion. That one's more typical to be with the girls. There's also physical bullying, hitting, shoving, fighting, damaging property. That's more typical with the guys. And there's cyberbullying, the new threats here on social media, making it very difficult for victims to escape. Yes.
What happens to people being bullied?
Victims are at higher risk of depression, lower self-esteem, higher absenteeism, and are 2 to 3 times more likely to have suicidal thoughts. Yes.
What is the effect on the bullying?
Well, bullies are miserable people, and since misery loves company, they try and make others miserable as well. They also face the consequences of uncontrolled feelings of sadness, loneliness, laziness, alcohol and drug use, getting kicked out of school, and even jail time. Well, again, how am I going to keep this place open?
Congratulations again to all of our annual Stand Up, Speak Out bullying prevention videos for our 2025-26 school year. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, and also congratulations to all of you all and to our students. Thank you for using your voices and your gifts and talents to bring this to the forefront. So we are grateful for you all to taking the lead on addressing these issues, and hopefully some of us adults can follow you all and pay attention to what you all are trying to share with us. So thank you all, and you all do not have to stay this entire meeting. I know it's also a school night for you all, and so you all can head out before we transition to public comment. So thank you all, and congratulations to our counselors and to our RAMP awards as well. So thank you for the work that you do. All right, thank you. So we will transition now to our public comment portion. Students will be heard first, following speakers commenting on tonight's agenda, and then speakers commenting on other topics. Only the person speaking at the podium will be able to stand. Again, all attendees that are not speaking are to remain seated. Concerns related to personnel issues or student matters may be addressed through our applicable WCPSS personnel, the grievance policy, and or applicable policies. The board welcomes all points of view, including criticisms directed at substantive ideas, actions, or procedures. However, the board's public comment policy also requires that order and decorum must be maintained. In the interest of maintaining order and decorum, speakers are encouraged to address their comments to the Wake County Board of Education and must refrain from personal attacks and insults directed at the board, individual board members, staff, or members of the general public. All commenters are also asked to remember that children are often attending and or listening to these meetings, and so please continue to keep your comments both substantive and civil. Please remain at the podium during your speaking time. Any materials that you wish to share with the board can be placed on the table outside of the door, and staff will collect the materials. During public comments, you may speak up to 3 minutes. Please note that the microphones are adjustable, and when you begin, the green light at the podium will illuminate, indicating that your 3 minutes have begun, followed by a yellow light with an audible tone when there are 30 seconds remaining of your time, and then when you see the red light and another audible tone, that will indicate that your 3 minutes has expired, and we will recognize the next speaker. Speakers are asked to respect the 3-minute timeline and speak no more than 3 minutes. So with that, we will start with our students. Is Alice Cole, and then we will proceed in the order that is listed on the agenda. Good evening.
Good evening. My name is Alice Cole, and I'm a student at Heritage Middle School. I have some concerns about the proposed calendar changes for Heritage Middle and Elementary School. As a student, I love the year-round schedule. The frequent breaks allow students to recharge, and it prevents burnout. When all 3 tracks are in, like they are right now, hallways are extremely crowded, and it is often very hard to get to your locker and make it to class because hallways are so congested. The cafeteria is also a very crowded area, and many students are forced to pull up chairs in order to sit with their friends because there are just not enough tables in the cafeteria. In addition, carpool is an absolute nightmare when everyone is in. Almost every day, there's an announcement that carpool is backed up, which causes students to miss valuable class time. And if it was like this every day all year, the time students miss quickly adds up. For students and families who truly prefer a year-round calendar for middle school, Durant Road is the closest option, which is 30 minutes away. And a 30-minute drive to and from school is not practical for most families. While I am going to high school soon, I still have 2 younger sisters who will experience this change, and I don't think a change will benefit them in any way. In fact, I think it will have more negative effects than positive effects on their and many other students' learning. In addition, if schools switch to a traditional or track 4 only calendar, teachers who currently work on an 11 or 12 months will only be working and paid for 10 months, but teachers already don't make enough, and so there's no reason we should be paying them any less. Due to all of these things, me and most students and teachers I've talked with believe a calendar change is just not practical for these schools. Thank you.
We will now turn to our non-students who are speaking on agenda, beginning with Ms. Bradley, and then we'll proceed in the order that is listed on the screen. You can give those to the board attorney. You can give those all to the board attorneys, and we have a process that it has to go through, and then all board members will receive it.
Okay. Well, good evening. My name is Megan Bradley, and I'm a parent at the Heritage Community. I'm here tonight to ask you to table the vote to convert Heritage Elementary and Heritage Middle School to a traditional calendar. I understand the math that you're looking at. Heritage is at 71% capacity and missing track 2. You see an underutilized building and want to cut overhead, but this is short-sighted, and it completely ignores the rapid growth immediately adjacent to the Heritage school boundaries. Based on the Rollsville and Wake Forest town websites, there is a verified, approved pipeline of over 5,000 new homes. Some of these are listed on page 3 of my handout. Because of this growth, Rollsville Elementary, already at 109% capacity, may have an additional 500 incoming students, which would drive it up to 182% capacity. Wake Forest Middle, already at 103% capacity, could face over 200 incoming students. Heritage Elementary and middle schools do not have a capacity problem. We have a boundary problem. The boundaries have not been adjusted, even though we've had rapid growth in Wake Forest, and now we have rapid growth in Rollsville. I've listened to your previous meetings and heard your focus on calendar continuity. But not only have you skimmed over the impact of trailers on our campus, which could easily be removed, you are completely missing the broken feeder school patterns that punishes our kids. My neighborhood is across the street from the Heritage campus, walkable via the Greenway without crossing even one street. Yet we're zoned for Rollsville Elementary, then Wake Forest Middle, and then Heritage High School. None of these are aligned. My kids will be forced to make an entirely new friend group upon entering middle school, and then make new friends again 3 years later upon entering high school. As you can see, also in the packet I have, in the Averett and Jones Dairy Road pocket, kids are assigned to Jones Dairy Elementary, which is directly across the street, but then they're split up into 3 middle schools. It doesn't make sense. And it's also a big contributing factor to why Heritage Middle is not closer to capacity. This common sense boundary proposal fixes this. It fills Heritage, reinstates track 2, fixes the feeder problems, and lets many kids safely walk or bike to school via the Greenway. Please do not destroy our year-round program that our families love when growth numbers prove that you will need year-round seats in the very near future. Please table this vote, fix our feeder problems, and explore the Heritage boundaries first.
Thank you. That is your time. Thank you.
Please do what's right for our kids.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right. We'll now turn to our next speaker,
Hi, thank you all for your time for me to speak today. My children currently attend Heritage Elementary and Middle School, and I have many concerns regarding the proposed calendar change. I feel the district is basing decisions on one study that is arguably flawed before listening to all the parents and seasoned teachers who will attest that year-round does in fact improve academic performance. In addition, we are only evaluating academic performance and not taking into consideration the additional benefits of year-round schools. Children benefit emotionally and mentally from the frequent breaks. Children that are from lower income homes have more access to meals and services. Children from difficult home situations have more access to safe adults. Staff and students both are less likely to be burnt out on a year-round calendar. The Heritage Campus is not currently set up to accommodate all students being on campus at the same time. Despite multiple requests, the district has chosen to only send out someone to evaluate carpool when 2 tracks were in, rather than 3. If you were to make the change, the district would need to consider paying for a police officer to direct traffic every morning. Kids are consistently late to school due to the backup on getting back on Rogers Road. The trailers at Heritage Elementary should not be counted as part of capacity. Only 3 of the 8 trailers are currently in use, and all of the trailers are falling apart in need of desperate repair. Transfer requests to Heritage Middle are frequently denied. Using underutilization as a justification while restricting access by denying transfer requests raises multiple concerns about the process and whether all available solutions have actually been considered. The district has stated that access to athletics is the reason that Heritage Middle cannot go to Track 4 only. I would argue that athletics should not be a deciding factor. We should not be putting athletics above what's best for most of our staff, students, and family. You are pushing more families to go to charter and private schools that have modified year-round schedules. We are rich with them in the Wake Forest area. If Heritage Middle was to move to a traditional calendar, you would be eliminating the only year-round middle school in Wake Forest. Many staff have indicated they will leave if the schedule is changed. They love the multi-track year-round. Many plan to either go ahead and retire or find a position at a different school. You will also be reducing pay for our specialists and other year-round staff that depend on it. At this time, our teachers are paid so very little, it seems a very bad move to pay them less. The data provided seem flawed in regards to Wake Forest growth. The planning team did admit Wake Forest will grow, but that these new developments do not have Heritage as their base schools. Well, with so many schools in the area approaching capacity, where exactly do you plan to put those students when the growth occurs? With all these concerns and more, I ask you to vote against any calendar change to Heritage Elementary and Middle School, or at the very least vote to make both Heritage Elementary and Heritage Middle Track 4 to maintain the year-round calendar at both schools.
Thank you. That is your time. Thank you. All right, our next speaker.
Hello. So everything that they said, but for Holly Grove and Holly Grove Middle School as well, Holly Grove Elementary and Middle School. But I did want to touch on one of the things that was talked about during the work session. Thanks to our awesome district representative, kind of gave me the idea to look into this. We wanted to address one of the concerns that was raised regarding student athletics and activities participation during track out. So my kids are too young for that, so I had to ask around a little bit. After speaking with a lot of Holly Grove parents who currently do deal with those situations with athletics and different activities during track out, it turns out there is a multi-layered system that's already in place and it works very well. So first, parents already coordinate transportation through volunteer systems such as Sign Up Genius and carpool rotations. Second, Holly Grove is uniquely walkable compared to other areas in Wake County, especially with the greenways, and most kids can already walk there. Third, Holly Springs has a transportation system resource through the Holly Springs Hopper system, which provides low-cost, on-demand transportation throughout the area and is already used and loved by local families. It's kind of like Uber, but it's run by the town instead of a bus service. It's only like $1 per ride, and it's immensely popular. Fourth, families participating in extracurriculars activities already understand their commitments during track out. Several parents explained that they signed something with the school regarding attendance expectations and understand that they may need to remain local during portions of the track out. Most importantly, the families that I heard from spoke overwhelmingly and viewed this as a manageable logistics issue, not a reason to eliminate year-round education, and I think that distinction matters, because from what I've seen, Holly Grove families are not asking the district to solve every challenge for them. They're showing that they're willing to organize, coordinate, volunteer, and work together to protect something that they deeply value. Please do not remove a system that is clearly working for so many families and students simply because it requires maybe some coordination for extracurriculars. The Holly Grove community has already shown that they are willing and able to do that work, especially to preserve year-round education. Thank you for your time. Have a good night.
Thank you. All right.
Good evening. I'm a parent with 2 girls at Heritage. The primary reason I chose Heritage is for the year-round schedule, and I am absolutely against traditional. The first reason is this will hurt my child in special education. She is 1 year behind in reading and math. And if I go to a traditional schedule, I have to catch her up in the summer, I have to catch her up in the fall, and that will be detrimental to my special ed child who is on an IEP. Number 2, this is a major burden on working families. I work full-time from home. To be able to coordinate traditional schedule during the summer, to coordinate my child on special education, would be too expensive and too hard. It would put me behind in my career and, again, my child's education. I would speak to the athletics, but Jason did a phenomenal job, so I will skip that. The other consideration is if we have any mixed thing, let's say the elementary was on a track calendar and the middle school on traditional, that absolutely would not work. That would then impose more significant challenges and more difficulties as a working mom. I cannot stress this enough. Please do not go to traditional for the sake of my child on special education and me as a working mom. I chose Heritage for this reason. Thank you.
Our next speaker.
Hello and good evening. I am a parent of students at the middle school and the elementary school, and I wanted to come here tonight and discuss, kind of let you know how I feel like the transition from year-round to traditional schedule would affect our family and our community. I think the previous speakers did a wonderful job of pointing out different impacts that the growing population might have on changing the school calendar, and then also access to special education services, and would again say Jason did a nice job of covering like the sports aspect of things. And I wanted to speak from a personal standpoint. We moved to the area recently and have really enjoyed the change to a year-round school schedule. I've seen a difference in my own son. He also has an IEP and is receiving support. I think there's consistent research out there about how support for students with learning differences and disabilities is more effective if there is consistent application of like the skills. That gives them, more time to practice, and I feel like there's less learning loss that occurs for those students. I also want to say that I feel like this, from a socioeconomic standpoint, a traditional calendar kind of immediately introduces like a child tax. I feel like most families, like both parents work now, life is expensive, so I think having those breaks kind of spaced out into those chunks provides access to childcare in a way that's less financially, less of a financial burden for families. I also believe that our local childcare infrastructure is well set up right now to continue to support year-round parents, and I would wonder what would happen to those organizations if we were to transition to traditional schedule, because I'm assuming that would affect them as well. Additionally, for
families who have custody arrangements, changing schedules is difficult because it can be, even under the most agreeable circumstances, it can be expensive to, go back to court and kind of figure out what schedule works for your family. All that being said, I would ask that our school remain year-round, whether that is condensing to one track or more ideally keeping those 3-track options. Thank you.
Thank you. I believe we'll now turn to our off-agenda items, starting with Mr. Deaton.
Good evening. An update on the Liggins School Legacy Committee was presented during the open session. I was really impressed a couple of months ago at these meetings when I heard the proud history of the school beginning during the hard times of the segregation era, and the accounts of attending the school and the profiles of the highly successful alumni and their great teachers. I watched a very similar story in a documentary on PBS about the Second Ward High School in Charlotte. Home movies of that school from the 1940s were shown. It was striking how nicely dressed all the students were. The teachers there and at Liggin had high standards and cared about each and every student and fostered the development of the whole person. Those teachers sound like the type that the great HBCUs were known for forming. The school is even named for one of those educators. From my own personal experience, albeit at a different type of school in a completely different context, I can say that a proud history and tradition of accomplishment can be a powerful inspiration to present-day students to be part of that tradition. I believe that success is driven more by effort than natural aptitude, but one needs motivation and desire to sustain that effort through long hours of toil year after year. So I respectfully urge the Liggin Legacy Committee and everyone at the school to keep their history and tradition alive. That was the intention that Dr. Taylor expressed, no matter which option was adopted for renovating the school or building new. And so I would just like to extend my best wishes for every future success to the entire Liggin community. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Deaton. So I know Mr. Federer is on the list, but he has requested to be removed, so we'll go to Ms. Jennifer Lobbs for our final speaker.
Hello, my name is Jennifer, and I want to thank you guys, each and every one of you, for your efforts and your time and your transparency and your accountability. This is a difficult time. There is a lot going on. And I'm not going to get into any of the details because there are a lot of things that are outside of our control. But they also affect every one of us, including the people here, including our teachers, including our students. And it's hard. I know just getting my kids out the door, if one thing goes wrong, I just want to scream. But I have to also step back and check myself and see if I'm regulated first, because that's what we're teaching our kids. My concerns are, I'll go back a little bit. My kids, I was a new mom of 2 kids, older mom. They went through 3 preschools before they landed at Project Enlightenment here at Wake County. I didn't know anything. I thought a preschool is a preschool. I was wrong. 2 of the schools, my kids got kicked out. And And when I got to Project Enlightenment, it felt so refreshing because they taught me how to be a parent too. And they taught my children that it wasn't a shame because they have ADHD and they wanted to go run over and see that castle of the other kid crash. They taught them that, oh, I'd like a turn with those blocks before when you get done with it. And I'm like, yeah, I can use that at home, with a sibling. I'd like a turn on that playground instead of running up and pushing the kid off. And it worked when I got to the schools. When I got to the elementary school, tell your feet to walk. Well, I thought that's the weirdest thing ever, but you know what? It didn't create shame. It didn't create shame because those kids had extra energy in a school system that traditionally, when I grew up, was not built for kids with extra energy or a fast brain or a brain that worked differently. But we're learning. We're practicing differently, and instead of having the kids be responsible for 5 different books, when they go to school, they can use a computer or they can use the stuff at home. So when I ask you, when you're coming up with budgets and you're thinking about the shortfalls that come up, really think about those kids that can't be served outside of our county. Think about the kids with disabilities. Think about the kids that are marginalized or don't have those resources to be served through vouchers or other programs, and prioritize them. And give us a little more warning, Superintendent, before you just cut special ed. Thank you.
Thank you. That will conclude public comments. And Mr. Federer, I'm going to request that Dr. Robinson meets with you before you leave this meeting. So Dr. Robinson is sitting over there, and he'll meet with you before the evening is over with. Thank you, Dr. Robinson. So with that, I will entertain a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda.
Motion to approve the consent agenda.
There's a motion to approve tonight's consent agenda by the Vice Chair, Vice Chair Hershey, and has been seconded by Mr. Hegarty. The voting is now open, and I don't see any discussion, so voting is open. We can record our votes from there. Are we waiting on anyone else, Ms. Allen?
I'm waiting on everybody except for Mr. Hershey and Ms. Rice.
Okay. So it says yeah, so that works. Thank you. Thank you, Ms. Allen. Yeah, it said the same on mine, but I get that it must have been a timeout or some disconnect, so we can. Thank you, Ms. Allen, for restarting and opening up for us. So now everyone should see it. What is your vote, Ms. Caulfield? Sure, that's fine. And if not, we can get. So it might just be some technological issues, which is what we are not in control of, but there's many ways for us to record a vote. So we'll just practice one of Ms. Rice's techniques and do some breathing. Ms. Caulfield is yours. Ms. Allen, are you still waiting on Ms. Caulfield?
I still don't say Ms. Caulfield. Dr. Joe, would you like to do a roll call vote?
I will do a roll call. I'll do a roll call vote because I understand that this is something above both of us. So thank you. No problem. So we'll just start with Dr. Joe.
Aye.
Ms. Gordon.
Aye.
Dr. Ng.
Aye.
Ms. Caulfield.
Nay.
All right. Vice Chair.
Aye.
Mr. Hegarty. Ms. Edmonds.
Aye.
Ms. Rice?
Aye.
The chair also votes aye, so I have that as an 8-1, and the consent agenda item passes. And if it does not work for the rest, we'll just do roll call votes so we can figure this out and go from there. So I will now turn to the action items, and our first one is policy. So I will welcome Dr. Mutillo or Dr. Crane. Thank you, Dr. Crane. Sorry, I was getting to my list, and this is what happens when you have too many papers in front of you. So Dr. Crane, welcome, and we will start with policy, Board Policy 5150.
7130.
Correct. Thank you.
7313, excuse me,
Yes.
7313. A revision is recommended tonight. Well, let me start over. Tonight, we're bringing to you, the item is titled Associated Revisions, Board Policy 5150, 7313, Reporting Safety and Security Information to External Agencies, first reading. A revision was recommended to multiple policies. 17 policies are included in the backup document, which is 69 pages long. The same revision is made in each policy. Quote, please note, a list of additional policies addressing safety and security reporting requirements is included in Policy 5150-7313, Reporting Safety and Security Information to External Agencies, end quote. The inserted text is found on the page number beside the list of 17 policy titles. I can read those out if you believe that would be helpful. It's on the précis. Okay, it's fine, great. When the revisions were discussed at the April 28th Policy Committee meeting, when they are adopted, they will replace the current versions of those policies. Are there any questions I can address?
Great. Thank you. So, Policy Chair Edmonds, I'll look to you for a motion.
Thank you. I move that we adopt 5150-7313.
All right, so there is a motion on the floor to adopt Policy 51.
We're adopting the associated revisions.
Yes, I was getting ready to reinstate all of that was on there. So yes, the motion is to adopt all of the revisions associated with Policy 5150-7313. Is there a second? Is that a second from Ms. Rice? Any questions or comments?
Just thank you
Sure.
for the clarification.
Of course.
On the motion.
Oh, of course, you're fine. Mr. Haggerty?
Just also to thank Dr. Crane. There was extensive policies to go through to determine where one of these changes was needed and not. And we know it was a lot of work, but it addressed a lot of the concerns that the policy committee had. So thank you for that.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Dr. Crane. Is there any other? Ms. Caulfield?
Sorry, I'm having a little bit of a technical issue here, but I think I got it to come back up. I just did have a question on page 2, I think it was. Nope, that's not the correct one. We crossed out F, H, I, and J, and I was just curious if you can just clarify why we did that.
That's in the policy. From my recollection of the policy, we excluded those letters because they did not address safety and security information. We narrowed the focus of the policy to only safety and security information.
Okay. They had, in one of the, I think it was F, they have at least 2 violent crimes, and I'm wondering why we had to wait for 2.
I apologize. I don't actually have the copy of the policy in front of me. What I have are the associated revisions in front of me.
Okay.
I can grab my laptop to look at that.
I'm sorry, I just don't remember us crossing that out, so I was trying to go back and find it, and it's not cooperating with me right now at this moment. I think it's just delayed, so when I'm trying to look at something, it's...
Okay, on page 2.
It's not on page 2. I just...
Okay.
I could be... I'm not seeing it right now, so I'm not sure if I didn't confuse my notes. So I'll excuse that. Take back my question.
Gotcha.
Sorry.
All right, is there any other questions or comments? All right, I believe the voting has been opened, and hearing none, we can go on and record our votes. Mr. Hegarty?
Based on the technical issues, do you just want to go ahead and do a voice vote?
So I know that yours has already been through. I was trying to see, I was talking to Ms. Allen about that to see what the issues are. So we'll see if it works this round. If not, we'll go with that option.
Mr. Chair.
Yes.
So I had to close my pop-up in order to try to find what Ms. Caulfield was talking about, so, and it didn't come back up for
Gotcha.
me. Anyway, but I'm an aye.
Okay. Ms. Allen, were you able to record that? Thank you. Ms. Caulfield, did you have your?
I did the same thing. I'm an aye.
Okay.
I can't get it up.
Okay. So it's also an aye. So I believe if that's everyone, and I think just to make it easier, Ms. Allen, for tonight, we'll just suspend this online voting. But it looks like it was approved. So it looks like I'll take that back. There's no issues. Everything is working. Everyone's up there. I'm not going to jinx it. We'll disregard what I said. This policy is approved. All right. Move to the next policy, which is Board Policy 9030, Facilities Construction, on first reading. Good evening, Ms. Posey.
Good evening, Chair Swanson, Vice Chair Hershey, members of the board, and Dr. Taylor. Tonight on first reading, we have two policies on facilities construction, Policy 9030, Facility Construction, and 9120, Bidding for Construction Work. Policy 9030, Facility Construction, is a new policy. It was created by the North Carolina School Boards Association and is part of the Policy Migration Project. Revisions were made by staff to reflect our current policies in blue and were discussed at the April 28th Policy Committee. Board recommended changes from Policy Committee are highlighted in yellow. When adopted, Policy 9030 will replace part of Policy 8361, Service Contract Administration.
Thank you, Ms. Posey. Is there a motion to approve Board Policy 9030?
So moved, Mr. Chair.
All right, so we have a motion to approve Board Policy 9030, Facilities Construction, on first reading. Is there a second?
Second.
It's a second by Ms. Rice. Any other comments, questions, or discussions? All right, so we're seeing, all right, I thought I saw a hand out of my peripheral, sorry. All right, seeing none, the votes are tabulated. I know Mr. Hegarty is having some computer issues, so Ms. Allen will record his verbally.
I'll vote aye.
Aye.
So I'm wondering if we, instead of when it first pops, seeing if that works. If not, I will stand by my last comment saying it did not work, it worked. I see your hand, Ms.
Chair, I think it's more of the fact that it's sensitive to screens, that when you move off the screen, it pops off and you're not able to get back to it. And that's just, it's just a sensitivity to the screening system.
That we can take that into consideration. That works, and this policy is approved. So we
All
will
right.
proceed to our next policy.
Thank you. The next policy is Policy 9120, Bidding for Construction Work. It is a new policy created by the North Carolina School Board Association and is part of the policy migration. This was also heard at Policy Committee on April 28th. Changes from staff are shown in blue, and recommended changes from the board are highlighted in yellow. When adopted, this policy will replace part of Policy 7261, Dispute Resolution for Construction and Repair Contracts, 8350, Bidding for Construction Work, and 8361, Service Contract Administration.
Chair Swanson,
Yes.
I move that we adopt 9120 on first reading.
Thank you. So there is a motion on the floor to adopt policy 9130 on first reading. 20. Is there a second?
Second.
Second from Dr. Ng. I think it was a competing second. Any discussions or comments on the said policies that are on the table? All right, hearing and seeing none. Ms. Allen has opened the voting, and we'll just proceed with that. Perhaps technology even knows, the system knows it's closer to the school year, so even it needs a little break. All right, so this policy has also been approved unanimously. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you. And Dr. Crane, we will go to policy 6800.
Tonight, we bring you policy 6800, student activities. We present you with a revision recommended by staff. It was reviewed earlier today at the board work session, and when it is approved, it will replace the current version of the policy. Staff requests a waiver of second reading so that the revision will become effective tonight. I understand Ms. Posey is available to answer any questions about her item on the earlier work session agenda. We can do that before the vote or after the vote.
Is there any questions regarding the insurance aspect of this policy that we did not get to? Mr. Hegarty.
Thank you, Chair Swanson. Just if board members have not had an opportunity, I know that our consideration was sort of interrupted by a lot of questions, but if you look at the presentation that was prepared for the work session, there's a lot of very good background and justification for the policy changes there that's online and available in our work session assembly materials. So I just wanted to point that out if anyone had not seen it.
Ms. Caulfield?
Mine is more of a comment. I just really appreciate that when the students came to us, the staff took that into consideration and brought us back a lot of possibility or some possibilities to actually make this happen and make it we can, and this is how we can do it. So I just wanted to say thank you for actually taking that step and doing that.
So before we get any further, I want to make sure that we have a motion on the floor so we can continue the discussion.
So moved.
Okay, so it's a motion to approve this policy on waive second reading for Board Policy 6800, student activities. Is that a second, Ms.
Second.
Edmonds? And it's been a second by Ms. Edmonds, so now we can continue the discussion. Ms. Edmonds.
Just to reiterate what was said in work session, I heard you that there are still some lingering questions and discussions that you'd like to have, so we will bring 6800 and 6801 to our June meeting, if at all possible, which I should be. So not possible for next week, but for June. Thank you.
Great. Any other comments? All right, so I just want to also thank you, Dr. Crane and Ms. Posey, and also Risk Management for taking the feedback and allowing our students to be able to participate in the NICA Club and other outside club entities that will now be able to have these on campus with us. And so I'm not going to reiterate or belabor the point that was brought forth that we discussed at the work session. Just grateful that this is now coming to fruition so those students can, continue to do the great things that is connected back to our strategic plan, student well-being. So with that, I think the motion is on the floor, has been moved and properly seconded. And so now the voting is now up, and board members, please cast your vote. This policy also passed unanimously. Thank you, Dr. Crane. All right. We will now move to our next action item is the final recommendation and approval for school calendar conversion. So good evening and welcome, Ms. Pulliam and Mr. Carrozza.
And Ms. Jordan.
Yes, good evening, Ms. Jordan. Sorry, I did not see you back there in the corner. Please forgive me for not acknowledging you.
Good evening, Chair Swanson, Vice Chair Hershey, Superintendent Taylor, and members of the board. I'm here tonight to request approval of the final recommendations for calendar conversions for the 2027-28 and 28-29 academic years. Before we review the final recommendations, I want to take a moment to express my deepest gratitude to two vital groups who made this comprehensive proposal possible. First, to our incredible long-range planning team and our communication staff. Thank you for your tireless dedication, late nights, and unwavering commitment to finding solutions that prioritize student learning and systemic health. Second, to our families, staff, and community members. We realize this was a challenging discussion to have, and it is clear that year-round is loved. Thank you for showing up, sharing your stories, and participating so passionately in our sessions and thought exchanges. The active participation gave us a profound understanding of what makes your school communities so special, and we are incredibly grateful for our continued partnership. We initiated this discussion with the Facilities Committee on March 10th and held several virtual information sessions and hosted thought exchanges to support each of these sessions. We first shared initial recommendations at the May 5th work session and reviewed final recommendations with you during the work session held earlier today. While the proposed changes specifically address capacity and operational efficiency, another driver is calendar alignment and instructional stability. By consolidating calendars, we can better ensure that more families have consistent school calendars across all grade spans and that every student has access to full programmatic offerings, that our educators can collaborate more effectively within a unified schedule. Based on the discussion and the revisions that you made at the table during the work session, and those have been posted and amended in your materials for this item, we recommend changing the operating calendar for the 27-28 academic year for the following schools: Holly Grove Elementary, Holly Grove Middle, Holly Springs Elementary, Rex Road Elementary, and Pleasant Grove Elementary, as well as Heritage Elementary and Heritage Middle. In addition, we recommend changing the operating calendar for the 2028-29 academic year for Sycamore Creek Elementary. These recommendations are data-driven and align with our strategic commitment and our strategic plan, specifically in areas of equity and responsible stewardship. These allow us to address our operational challenges at these schools while also ensuring that every student has success to a stable, high-quality learning environment. At this time, I'll present each recommendation individually. I think that's how we wanted to do this, Mr. Swanson?
Yes.
For the board's consideration and vote. Heritage Elementary changes to a track 4 only calendar for the 2027-28 school year.
So is there, Ms. Coffin?
I'd like to make a motion to switch it to track 4 year-round option.
Gotcha. And that's the recommendation of staff.
Pick that
just-
up. Right, I didn't know if I had to formally say the whole
So-
thing to switch it out.
So there's a motion by Ms. Caulfield to make Heritage Middle School and Heritage Elementary School a track 4 year-round only. Is there a second?
Second.
It's been seconded by Dr. Job. Is there any comments, questions, or discussion? Ms. Caulfield?
Well, I mean, I appreciate it. I know that you guys have put a lot of work into this and heard the families not only once but twice, so I do appreciate that. I have heard from many families, as most of the board has, and we do know how important it is to our community, especially over. I'll speak for Heritage Elementary and Middle School. I know Dr. Job will advocate for hers as well, but I do appreciate that you came with different options. And that you were flexible with that. And I want the families to know that they were heard. We heard many comments along the way that people felt like their voices weren't being heard. And I hope that this shows that we are hearing you, and this is a good compromise between what staff is bringing to us and what the families are. Living in the community, I know how valuable year-round is, and that community was kind of built on these year-round options. So I'm glad that we're going to be able to, hopefully, if everybody votes that way, that we will be able to keep the track 4 at least. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. Caulfield. Any other discussions on this matter that's before us?
And I just want to clarify, this is for both schools?
Correct, yes. And that's, yes. All right, seeing or seeing none, that's right, that's right. So there's a motion on the floor and it's been moved and properly seconded, so we will do all in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, the same signs, the ayes have it. This calendar change for track 4 passes.
Okay. The next item for consideration is Holly Grove Elementary, and I presume Holly Grove Middle, we'll talk about them together, changing to track 4 only, and again for the 27-28 school calendar year.
So is there a motion on the floor to approve the Holly Grove Elementary and Middle School for the 27-28 academic school year for a track 4 year-round only?
So moved.
It's been moved by Dr. Job. Is there
Second.
It's a dueling second from both Dr. Ng and Mr. Hershey, so we'll give it to Dr. Ng. Any discussions, Dr. Job?
Yep, thank you so much. So I had, and you all did too, I had more than 100 community members reach out to me about this Holly Grove proposed calendar change. There were parents, teachers, business owners, an elementary school student wrote us an email. I want to acknowledge that there were 3 people who emailed me asking to adhere to the staff's initial recommendation of changing to a traditional calendar for Holly Grove Elementary and Middle Schools. And there were people who submitted those, to the thought exchange as well. This was not a total unanimous decision, but the consensus was definitely to keep the year-round calendar. I heard from families who stretched their budgets uncomfortably thin in order to be in a year-round Holly Grove school. Parents whose children have thrived on the year-round schedule for a number of reasons. We heard about them tonight. Businesses that depend on the trackouts. We all just got a fully researched plan from Jason over there about how the community will rally to give their kids extracurricular activities even during trackouts. But the staff presented reasonable and considered recommendations for why to move the schools to a traditional calendar. I want to thank the staff for the incredibly hard work they do trying to tell the future without the benefit of a crystal ball. Make the best plans for all of the students of Wake County when things like the economy change on a dime. The recommendations they made were sound and would fit the statistics of the county best and make the best operational sense. However, Wake County schools are not a business. We aren't a corporation to optimize, and families aren't just numbers on a spreadsheet to balance. Each school is its own unique community, and what works for one may not work for another. As one parent put it, people didn't end up on the year-round calendar by accident. They consciously chose to stay or even move to the area and build their lives around the track-out system. There are businesses that sprung up out of this way of education, and some teachers even found new motivation in their teaching because of it. Does that mean what the staff recommended was wrong? Absolutely not. They did exactly what they were supposed to do based on the information they had at hand. And the Holly Grove community has done exactly what we need all of our families to do. Take ownership of their kids' education, speak up for their kids, and when asked, step up to partner with us and make what they want work. I commend the parents who were respectful and thoughtful, because it wasn't all of them, in their advocacy, and I encourage all Wake parents to do the same for their kids. Now it's time for the board to do what we're supposed to do. We need to take into consideration what the staff told us, but also listen carefully to the community that truly owns Holly Grove schools. Because in the end, that's what a democracy like ours is all about. So I urge my colleagues to join me in voting for these schools to stay on a year-round calendar and a single track 4. Thank you, Mr. Chair Swanson.
Ms. Rice?
Chair, I was going to make a statement, but I'm going to yield back. I'm going to be nice.
Thank you. Any others? Seeing or hearing none? There is a motion on, did you have a comment, Ms. Edmonds? Sorry. I did not want to silence the discussion. Seeing or hearing no more comments, there is a motion on the table. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same signs. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
The next school on our list for consideration is Holly Springs Elementary. As was discussed during work session, we're recommending that it changes to a track 4 only school beginning in the 2027-28 school year.
All right. Is there a motion? Ms. Edmonds?
So moved. That's in District 5.
So there is a motion on the table to make
Holly Springs
Elementary School
track 4 only.
a track 4 year-round only. Is there a second?
Second.
Seconded by Ms. Gordon. Any discussion, Ms. Edmonds?
I'll keep it short, but just to emphasize the point that Dr. Job made, that what may work for one community doesn't work for another. I didn't hear a peep from Holly Springs parents. I know that some participated in the thought exchanges, but I didn't get any emails about this at all. So I actually had to check in with the area superintendent and the principal and make sure that everybody was, that was the, anyway. So it just illustrates, I mean, it's all over the place depending on the school community, and I don't know what else, but yeah, but thank you.
Thank you, and that's the beauty of advocacy and democracy. It shows up in many, many ways. They're hearing or seeing none. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same signs. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
The next school on our list is Rex Road Elementary. Staff is recommending that it change to a Track 4 only school in the 2027-28 school year, and we do acknowledge this is a much narrower window than we would normally do, but the nature of the slowed residential growth in the area is just necessitating that we take action a little sooner than we normally would.
Thank you, Ms. Pulliam. Is there a motion to entertain? I'll entertain a motion. Let me get my words together. I will entertain a motion to make Rex Road Elementary School a Track 4 year-round only.
As that's District 8, I'll move to make Rex Road a Track 4 single track only.
There is a motion by Dr. Jobe to make another Wake County Public School a year-round. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Ms. Gordon. Any discussion? Dr. Jobe?
Yeah, I'll just say, well, I mean, we're moving from multi-track down to one track, so it wasn't as big of a shift, but yes, again, it just illustrates how different everything is, because I didn't hear from any Rex Road parents either. So, but thank you very much for presenting this and how we're moving. I think it's a smart decision.
Any other comments, questions? All right, hearing or seeing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same signs. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
The next school for consideration is Pleasant Grove Elementary. This school has a unique history. It was converted to multi-track. This is its third year of operation, so this would be that 3-year window that we try to use. But we're recommending that Pleasant Grove Elementary go to Track 4 only for the 2027-28 school year.
All right, is there a motion to make Pleasant Grove a Track 4 year-round only? Mr. Hegarty.
Chair Swanson, I move that we approve the staff recommendation regarding Pleasant Grove Elementary School's calendar.
All right, there is a motion on the floor. Is there a second? Second. Seconded by Vice Chair Hershey. Any discussion?
Just that, as Ms. Pulliam has said, this has been a challenging situation for parents due to other reassignment issues. We really changed the assignment area from the school. We ended up moving many parents that were on a year-round calendar to the school, which had been traditional, and to help facilitate that and to help give that continuity of calendar from kindergarten through 8th grade, we felt that the school should convert. But even though there's houses going up left and right all over the district, the growth is not to where it can support a multi-track calendar, and we've seen that. So hopefully this will give some stability to the families. It'll let them keep their calendar alignment with their multi-track middle school, but at the same time operate things more efficiently. So I'd encourage everyone to support the staff recommendation.
All right. Any other comments or questions? Hearing or seeing none, there is a motion on the table that has been properly seconded. All those in favor of it, let it be known by the sign of aye. Aye. Opposed, same signs. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
And the final school for consideration for tonight's review is Sycamore Creek Elementary. The recommendation for Sycamore Creek is that it change to a Track 4 only school for the 2028-29 school year.
All right. Is there, Mr. Hegarty?
Yes, Chair Swanson, I would move that we support the staff recommendation for the calendar for Sycamore Creek Elementary School.
All right. Second. It has been some motion by Mr. Hegarty, seconded by Vice Chair Hershey. Mr. Hegarty, any discussion?
Yes, so board members, I will say, I know a lot of the debate about the calendars has been very one-sided, and many of the schools that you've heard from, but this is a situation where there really are good arguments from parents and families and staff on both sides. Sycamore Creek has long been a multi-track elementary school. It has been a very popular option in the community, and there have been, I think, a number of families that have not even wanted to move from multi-track. However, the multi-track schools, elementary schools in the area had supported the creation of a multi-track middle school, Pine Hollow. But over the years, Pine Hollow was not able to support a multi-track calendar. Basically, it had internally shifted down to one track, and even then, it was having a great deal of difficulty. And so, just like you all have considered at this meeting, at a previous year, we voted to convert Pine Hollow not to a Track 4 calendar, but to a traditional calendar. And so that's created calendar misalignment for several families. And there are several families for whom it would be more convenient to convert Sycamore Creek also to a traditional calendar. But we still have other multi-track schools in the area, Briar Creek being one. And we still do have growth in that area. There's some debate over how much, whether it's slowing, whether it's stagnating. I drove past new construction on the way in, right? Some of these challenges maybe we'll address through reassignment. Some of them maybe we'll address through calendar conversion. But here, the larger number of parents that I did hear from did want to preserve at least a Track 4 if they couldn't keep their traditional calendar. Again, parents with siblings of older students in middle schools wanted to just move to traditional calendar. But I also heard extensively from staff, and like you've heard in some of the arguments concerning some of these other schools, there was really strong support from the school staff and the school community, as well as the businesses that support the school, that contribute, that donate, into keeping as close to whatever year-round aspect they could, even if it was only Track 4. And what I really appreciate is here the change is not being made until the 28-29 year. So there's continued opportunity for dialogue. If the school community comes together and says, you know what, we've tried to look at Track 4, but in retrospect, maybe it doesn't work out, we can reconsider that decision before the 28-29 shift. If there's incredible growth and it supports the multi-track, that's an option too. But this is a decision that won't make everyone happy, but based on all of the input that I've received, hopefully we can do what's right in terms of our budget numbers, and then also support as many of the families and staff as possible that do want to keep at least a Track 4 calendar. Thank you.
Thank you. All right, seeing and hearing none, all those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye. Opposed, the same signs. The ayes have it. The motion passes.
Okay. And just to confirm, since the majority of the schools will now be making their conversions in 27-28, the savings that you're projected would mostly fall in that school year.
Great. Thank you. I also wanted to say thank you to Ms. Pulliam, Ms. Jordan, Mr. Carosa, and the rest of your team for the great work that you all are doing and the difficult work that is also being done too, and how you all are also doing what's best for Wake County as a whole. So thank you for taking the board's feedback and making some edits and modifications to what you all had thank you. My words, it's getting late. I'm saving the rest of my energy for our closed session. So thank you all.
Thank you so much.
All right. So I think now we will turn to our last information item, which is superintendent's comments, followed by board member comments. Dr. Taylor.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I'd like to begin tonight by recognizing an extraordinary accomplishment by one of our school leaders. On Friday, Dr. Mariah Walker, principal of Wake Young Women's Leadership Academy, was named the 2026 Wells Fargo, North Carolina Principal of the Year by the North Carolina Department of Public Instruction. This recognition follows her selection earlier this year as both the Wake County Principal of the Year and the North Central Region Principal of the Year. Dr. Walker has served students in Wake County for more than 20 years. She has held leadership roles at Hillburn Academy, Pleasant Grove Elementary, and Sanderson High School before becoming principal of Wake Young Women's Leadership Academy in 2022. At Wyla, she has led with a clear focus on both academic excellence and the individual needs of students and staff. Her teachers describe a school culture where they feel trusted, supported, and respected, while students are encouraged to find their voice and pursue ambitious goals for their future. Dr. Walker has also guided the school through an important transition in its early college partnership, helping secure a new pathway that will continue expanding opportunities for students through Shaw University beginning next year. Well, actually, this year. We're already there. One thing that stands out about Dr. Walker is the way she combines her expectations with genuine care for people. She has spoken openly about creating environments where students and staff feel seen, valued, and supported as whole people. If you've ever had the chance to meet Dr. Walker, you'll know that she's uniquely suited to do just that. Her genuine warmth and compassion are hallmarks of her leadership style. In addition to her work, she currently serves as president of the Wake County Division of Principals and Assistant Principals and continues to be a strong advocate for public education and leadership development across our district. Dr. Walker represents the very best of our school district, and we are incredibly proud to see her recognized at the state level. I'll remind our community also that Dr. Walker is just the second Wake County principal to be recognized as the Principal of the Year for North Carolina. So I think that's a great accomplishment. I shared with Dr. Walker early on before we knew that having worked at the department, I knew what they were looking for in this award, and I told her I felt very confident that she would win it, and that if anybody beat her, that they would absolutely be great people. So we know that all 9 were wonderful representatives, but we are so extremely proud of Dr. Walker and what she's been able to accomplish. I think that deserves a round of applause. I'd also like to congratulate Stephanie Taggart of Bowling Road Elementary, who has been named the Wake County Public Schools Speech Language Pathologist of the Year. Mrs. Taggart brings more than 27 years of experience to the profession, including many years working in early intervention services. She is now approaching her 5th year with the Wake County Public School System. She is known for the care and the expertise she brings to supporting students and families, particularly those navigating autism and neurodiversity. Her colleagues also appreciate the support she provides to teachers and staff as they work to meet the diverse communication needs of students. May is National Speech Language Pathology Hearing Month, which gives us an opportunity to recognize all of our speech language pathologists and audiologists across Wake County. These professionals provide essential support for students across all grade levels, helping address speech, language, communication, hearing, and social emotional needs that directly affect success in school. And so if you're able, please take a moment this month to thank your school speech language pathologists and our audiologists for using their skills and talents to improve the lives of young people each and every day. The last comment I want to add is that while we are dealing with a lot of budget issues and different things in our district, I do want people to recognize the excellence that's still happening in this district regardless. We've got the North Carolina Principal of the Year. We've had a ramp designation to where only our schools in Wake County have received those designations. We have the North Carolina NCAT Beginning Teacher of the Year, and I can't say enough about the magnet awards that we continue to get. And so while things are rough from a budget perspective, Wake County is still showing out at the state and national level. I do want to bring that forward. Finally, tonight I'd like to share a brief video connected to the Helping Hands Youth Mentoring Program, which on Sunday hosted its inaugural Student Film Festival. The festival was designed to give students an opportunity to express themselves creatively while also encouraging confidence and self-reflection. A central focus of the Helping Hands program is helping students recognize and challenge the negative inner voice that can sometimes stand in the way of success. Students from several schools participated in the festival, which featured an Academy Award-style presentation recognizing outstanding student productions in various categories. The video you're about to see includes 2 of the student submissions recognized during the event. Catastrophizing, which was produced by students from Austin Ridge Middle School, received the award for most memorable scene, And the choice I make, made by students from Heritage Middle School, earned both clearest message and best overall production. So I think you'll be impressed not only by the creativity of these students, but also by the honesty and insight reflected in their work. So let's take a look.
That was terrible. I'm going to lose my spot with the team.
It was just one shot.
No, if I keep missing, I'll get benched, and then I won't make the next team. Everything is going to fall apart.
That was a lot for one moment.
This is called catastrophizing. So you take one problem and imagine the worst possible outcome. When we think this way, everything feels bigger than it is. We might stop trying because it feels like everything is already ruined.
What actually happened?
I missed one shot.
Then take another one.
One mistake doesn't decide everything.
It may be. Should be one more. Oh, there we go.
That was terrible. I'm going to lose my spot on the team.
It was just one shot.
No, if I keep missing, I'll get benched, and then I won't make the next team. Everything is going to fall apart.
That was a lot for one moment.
This is called catastrophizing. So you take one problem and imagine the worst possible outcome. When we think this way, everything feels bigger than it is. We might stop trying because it feels like everything is already ruined.
What actually happened?
I missed one shot.
Then take another one.
One mistake doesn't decide everything.
All right, staff, if we can't get the Heritage video, then we'll come back to, oh, there it is. All right.
People see me as annoying, but they don't always know how I really feel.
Some days I feel useless, but I'm learning that my values come from morals, not what other people say.
Yo, they just PPDs out of school. When?
Nah, last time the letter said getting kicked out for being too loud.
Ain't no big cowards when everybody doing it now.
This is usually the moment when I feel pressured. I want to fit in, but I also want to respect my own feelings.
This is when I decide who I'm going to be. If I say yes, I risk getting kicked out again, and if I say no, I risk being labeled as lame. And now I'm starting to realize real strength is not falling for peer pressure.
So you coming or what?
Nah, I got like homework to focus on and all that.
For real?
Yeah.
Do you, bro? Y'all bring something to eat? Yes.
Walking away wasn't easy, but self-control means choosing myself and my well-being over my friends and getting in trouble. I'm proud of myself for not falling for peer pressure.
I don't need approval from my peers to know my worth, and I respect myself, I choose myself, and tomorrow I'll keep choosing myself, and I will again and again.
Mr. Chair, I'll yield back, but I hope we all can learn from those lessons, and I won't catastrophize when I miss a putt, and I will be clear on the choices that I make when I'm at home with Mama.
Thank you, Dr. Taylor. And as I share with Board Member Rice, I would love to bring the helping hands to our June meeting for a recognition item so we can recognize those students for their great work. Ms. Caulfield, we'll start with you and just make our way around.
Okay. Good evening. First, I would like to thank the students who came out to share and perform for all of us today. That was wonderful. And I'm often amazed by our youth, not only their courage, but their advocacy and their talents, and celebrating cultures and the very things that make us who we are as a country. So bravo to the students that came out, and happy Asian American and Pacific Islander Heritage Month. I want to congratulate all of our seniors of the class of 2026 that are about to graduate, and those that have. And as we enter this time of celebration, please be safe and enjoy what your next chapter will bring. Good luck in your new venture, whatever that may bring, and I wish you all the very best. This looks very different for many of our students. I hope that you all find the special and valuable spaces that you each bring and each find your happiness and success. For some of you, that may be a university. For some, it could be community college, some a valuable trade, and some may go straight on to find the job of their dreams. And some may even consider a very important gap year while they work towards their goals. Each one of you will play a very important role in our community, so good luck, and I wish you the best. Today we were asked to vote on two things that I wanted to talk about and I wanted to address, that we have heard your voices, those that have come before us and emailed us, those who spoke before us today, and I appreciate your feedback. I have heard the comments that the board and staff is not listening, or they feel like their voices were not being heard. And I do hope that today our students, our families, and our teachers now feel heard. We had students come and speak to us about the NICA Club in the recent past, and also about a skate club advocating for those opportunities. I hope today those students not only feel heard, but they see how their advocacy and their voice has created change. Hold on a second, I just spaz my screen once again. I appreciate that my colleagues have also supported these changes, and staff not only provided an updated insurance policy that shows how we can, but they also updated our policy to show that we have a certain process to help with clubs like these. I'm excited to see the opportunities for such clubs as these and what the whole future holds for them. The other topic is around our year-round schools, and I will speak for Heritage Elementary and Heritage Middle School. I recognize what our families and teachers have shared, the trailer concerns, the underutilization, the growth in our town, which does reflect over 5,800 units coming to our community that are either approved or pending and not even started yet. The burnout effects of our students and our teachers, and the feeder patterns, the economic impact, our businesses, and town safety, and the true love for our year-round schools and how it benefits our community. It was built around these year-round opportunities. I also recognize that many families chose to be in this community based on that year-round opportunity. We have heard, and myself have experienced, the benefits of student success in a year-round school. I feel that we are hearing the families, the very messages that they want us to hear, and the reason that they love our schools, and we need to nurture that. We have plenty of families requesting to attend year-round schools in this situation, and it shows the need in this area and the value of the year-round program has brought to our families and our teachers that came forward. And again, I hope the families feel their voices do matter, and we did hear what they had to say. And I'm thankful for those families and our students from tonight and the emails that we received from them for coming forward and sharing what is important to them and how it impacts them and their families. Last, I would like to congratulate Dr. Walker for earning Principal of the Year. I had the pleasure of touring the Women's Leadership Academy in the past with Mr. Hershey, and you could feel her energy and the love that she has for her students and how that spreads into her staff and to the families. So I want to congratulate her, and it is definitely well-earned. And I look forward to attending the Teacher of the Year tomorrow to see who wins that, too. Thank you.
All right, Dr. E.
Good evening. I also want to congratulate Dr. Walker for being named North Carolina's Principal of the Year. I wasn't able to attend the celebration yesterday, but I share in the joy that we have the best principal in North Carolina leading our young ladies. She is a wonderful example of grace under fire, helping the school weather the storms in the last couple of years. And every young woman should want to emulate her when they grow up. I want to thank everyone from District 3 who emailed me regarding the calendar change proposal for Heritage Elementary and Heritage Middle School. Even though the Heritage schools are in my district, I kindly defer to Ms. Caulfield for her advocacy because she lives in the Heritage community and her children went to those schools. She really has the pulse of the Heritage community and fully understands Wake Forest. Even though we can't keep the status quo of multi-track, at least we can keep the year-round calendar. And still, many families will have to make adjustments, and we ask for patience in this transition in the coming years. I appreciate all of the input we have received, and we all do feel your frustration. I do understand the passion with which some of you have advocated for your children. These decisions we make on the board not only have an immediate impact on your children, but they have a rippling effect on other members of your family, on affording before and after school childcare, on your ability to keep your job, on the cottage industries that have sprung up in the community, and ultimately on the community cohesion. I know that we always like to make decisions based on data, but there's times when the data is not enough. We have heard you, and we hope that our decision today provides a way for you to navigate the necessary change in our schools. And as for the actual change to Track 4, I am hoping that this keeps an open door for a resurgence of enrollment in our schools. Growth is continuing in Wake Forest, and we cannot shut that door and resign to the fact that the enrollment is going down, and that is the fact. It's not the fact. We can change that. And so I am eager to see what happens in the coming years, and we want our advocates and the parents advocates who are in the community to continue to advocate for public schools. And if your neighbors and friends are finding frustration in the charter schools and other schools that they've been to, and they say, come back to our public schools, our wonderful public schools. So thank you.
All right. Ms. Gordon.
Thank you. Good evening. Over the past few weeks, I've had the opportunity to attend several events and school visits that reminded me of something I deeply believe. Culture and climate are anchors to success in our school buildings. When students, families, and educators feel seen, celebrated, and heard, schools absolutely thrive. I witnessed that spirit in every school and community event I visited this past week, so bear with me as I acknowledge all of them. First, at the Garner Foundation for Education Excellence ceremony, we celebrated Garner Area High School Scholarship recipients, Garner Area Teachers of the Year, newly National Board Certified Educators, and Garner Educator retirees. It was a powerful reminder of the incredible talent, commitment, and impact that exists in that part of our district. At my final Board Advisory Council meeting of the year, we discussed the budget and belonging and how the district can continue strengthening family engagement, even amid financial challenges. I appreciated hearing thoughtful ideas about where we can continue to improve and grow together. Now on to my school visits, the best part. I visited Bryan Road Elementary with Principal Dr. Malcolm, and despite the excitement of field day, students were still fully engaged in learning. I had the opportunity to sit in on a second grade professional learning community and observed intentional collaboration among second grade educators. Throughout the building, there were visible examples of students, staff, and families being recognized and celebrated in meaningful ways. At Barwell Road Elementary School, with Principal Mangum, I saw scholars hard at work and positive momentum throughout the school. Barwell recently, or is now, celebrating significant gains in both academic data and school culture, and it's clear that students and staff are doing great things together. I also visited North Garner Middle School with Principal Register. I sat in on a Math 1 class. I solved one problem involving X and Y variables. and was reminded of some fond, maybe not so fond, middle school math memories. More importantly, I saw educators engaged in intentional work around their school improvement plan and instructional delivery to better support students. And at Creech Road Elementary with Dr. Chu, I had the chance to experience several parts of the school's arts programs, including visits to both the art and music classrooms. I also learned about the school's survivor-themed culture initiatives for grades 3 through 5, where students are celebrated and motivated through leadership and teamwork. One third grader proudly explained the role and responsibilities of the school's flame holder, and if you watch Survivor, you would understand. I want to send congratulations to my soror, Dr. Mariah Walker, on being named the 2026 Wells Fargo North Central Region Principal of the Year. One of the best indicators of professional growth is the community of educators you learn alongside. I remember interacting with Dr. Walker years ago during educator conversations on the social media platform formerly known as Twitter, and even then, her dedication to excellence for students and families stood out. It has been inspiring to watch her leadership journey continue to grow and impact so many. And finally, I would also like to acknowledge the efforts and quick response of our law enforcement officers and our security staff when our schools go into lockdown. I experienced this scary moment as a parent and happened to actually be there to witness it. I want to thank Garner PD, Wake County Public School System's Security Department, and our staff for your service and response in that scary moment. You all are proof that here in Wake County Public Schools, we take safety and security seriously. And I am looking forward to celebrating all of the 2026 Wake County Public School graduates in the coming weeks. Thank you.
Thank you. Dr. Joe?
I said a lot during the Holly Grove vote, so this is going to be very short. But I want to congratulate Dr. Walker. That is an amazing accomplishment. And all of the Teacher of the Year nominees, who I look forward to seeing tomorrow at the Teacher of the Year banquet. I want to thank Holly Springs High School for inviting me to their spring choral show. I was really blown away. The students have such powerful voices, and I was so moved to be there. I look forward to the graduation ceremonies coming up, and I congratulate the thousands of students that are about to walk the stage and embark on adulthood. In the past 2 weeks, I've been approached by 3 different groups of students to talk to me about their concerns about AI in schools. I've been so impressed by their bravery in reaching out to me. I certainly would have had reservations about doing that when I was their age. I've learned a lot about how AI is currently being used by teenagers and the serious concerns they have about their futures. And it really emphasized for me how we need to speed up the process of an AI policy, but also improve curriculum to make sure our students are ready for a 21st century world. And I really want to thank those students for coming forward. Along the same lines, I want to thank all the participants of the Stand Up Speak Out competition and the schools for supporting their participation. AI has brought bullying to new levels, especially with the ability to create realistic-looking fake photos of their peers. And it's more important than ever that we work to root bullying out of all of our schools. And this is one of those wonderful things that we devote resources to that I hope we were able to keep doing in the future. Thank you.
Ms. Rice.
Good evening, everybody. Let the graduations begin. I'm extremely proud of all the 2026 graduates of Wake County Public School. I will attend all of the graduations. However, I'm almost a little scared to say I will not be able to attend the great Southeast Raleigh High School's graduation due to a conflict that I have. But I did want to express to Southeast Raleigh as they graduate this week, I am extremely proud of you. You are one of the best schools within Wake County Public Schools, and it's such a resilient community that deserves to always be celebrated. So I wanted to say that first in case everybody was trying to figure out Where's Board Member Rice? I also want to say congratulations to Dr. Walker as well. I got to attend the Yellow Rose ceremony and stand outside in the rain while children were walking into the school. It was worth the hair catastrophe to see those beautiful faces and students and support them during that time. I also want to congratulate the Ignite program from last night with Dr. Janine Perry Campbell and the great work that the students have done by showing up and showing out, even including the debate teams and the work that they've done over the years. I was very excited about Southeast Raleigh doing its first debate last year and actually moving through the process and winning first place in some areas, and continuing them to see that work and to see other high schools that have over 200 people debate team, mentor the other schools that have not quite reached those heights. So I'm excited about the great work that we're doing, including the Helping Hands. Thank you, Dr. Taylor, for showing those videos of these amazing students. While I know our budgets are tight, I am hoping that our board continues to understand the important work that Helping Hands as well as the Ignite teams do to uplift our students who may not have the opportunities and the supports to know that they can be stronger and reach the heights that they can reach in success later in years. And being a part of these programs show these students that they actually can be those innovative folks that will lead our school systems for the next generations to come. And finally, for my comment tonight, I am not getting ready to give you a long overview about your wellness. However, I did what I promised that I would do, and I finally remembered to take the time and pull out, and I had thank you to our board assistant, Laura. Every one of you in our board, as well as our SLT team, should have received your emergency action plans for the 8 dimensions of wellness. So I will not go through all of them, but I am hoping that you continue in the spirit of Mental Health Awareness Month, that you make sure that you take some time to develop your own self-care plan. It is very important in this day and time, in this culture, that you know that you are appreciated, that you are valued, and I just want you all to know here's some just quick action steps that you can take based upon how you might be feeling with whatever domain that you might be in within the 8 dimensions of wellness. And I just hope that you put that into practice and into place. I have to use it all the time, and it has been something that's been very good to me as I do it personally, as well as train it across our county and our state. So it doesn't mean that you are going to get everything right. I don't always get everything right, but what I do is try to go back and fix it and correct it and make sure that the heart of my intentions are there. So sometimes when I brush up against my colleagues and we disagree, I know how to take me 10 breaths or walk out of that room and go take a moment and take a break for myself to regulate ourselves. And so it is important for us as leaders to understand that our wellness impacts our leadership style. So I want everybody to have a positive and productive evening.
Thank you for those reminders. Ms. Edmonds.
Thank you. Just a couple things. So last week, Dr. Taylor, it sounds like you had a film week, Dr. Taylor. So I didn't go to the Helping Hands film event, but I did go with you to a C-SPAN documentary event. And Wake STEM and Millbrook High Schools both won numerous awards, and we got to see all of the documentary films. I don't remember how many there were, but there were a lot, and it was an extensive evening in a good way. But it was nice to celebrate those kids, very talented kids. And then the next morning, I went to WESIB, Wake Early College of Information and Biotechnologies, to attend a food science class showcase where the kids, either in pairs or small groups, created well, I don't know that they created recipes, but they had to research the chemistry and science of food. And so I was there to eat and to talk with these students. And I'd never been to that campus. It was a lot of fun. And for the first time in my life, I had spaghetti at like 8:15 a.m. So that was great fun. And like everyone has said, I'm really excited that the graduations are starting this week. So congratulations to our 2026 graduates. Thanks.
Thank you. Mr. Haggerty.
All right, thank you. So I'm going to be hitting the road and might be a little difficult to connect with over the next couple of weeks. So like Ms. Rice, I will miss one of my favorite graduations, which I've made a point to get to every year, including during the pandemic, which has been Southeast Raleigh, Magnet High School. It truly is a celebration of joy, and they do a fantastic job. So I do encourage the rest of you, if you are available, to make sure to hit that graduation and support those students and that staff. Really, a lot of congratulations to go around. As I said, I won't be able to be here for all the graduation ceremonies, but I do want to specifically call out and congratulate Dr. Abby Stotzenberg and the Mavericks of the Wake Early College of Information and Biotechnology. The Mavericks, this is one of our newer schools. And sometimes you hear the expression about having to fly an airplane while you're still building it. Well, those students have gotten a high school education and a diploma, while the school around them has literally been being built around them. It takes a lot to go to a new school for students to transfer from existing schools, the very first class, for their junior and senior year, not really knowing what the program is going to be about. But those are the kind of traits that I think really help you later in life and are a real indicator of success. So I will share this one story about WeSib, which is all of you that have attended graduations before, Dr. Jobe, this will be your first in this capacity. You'll hear a familiar refrain from every single principal, which is, as they get ready to read all of the names, that they would like to remind everyone to please hold your applause. Wait till everyone has been called before making any sort of comments. And in 8 years on this board, the only school where that ever actually happened was the first graduating class of WeSib, because I think no one told them that that was just ceremonial. So maybe they'll continue that tradition this year, or maybe they will, let out a few, spontaneous shouts of joy. But in either case, I do regret having to miss that this year. The congratulations, I think, for Dr. Walker are universal. I think really this is just confirmation of what we've known all along about her stature and the principals in the state of North Carolina. I will say that just, when Dr. Walker was principal of one of the elementary schools, actually elementary and middle school, it was our Hilburn K through 8 Academy, you really can see the difference a principal can make in terms of culture in a school, from students through teachers to the support staff, and just the intentionality with which she worked and trained her staff in terms of student self-respect and behavior. It really takes a lot to create that kind of environment. But seeing her do that, it's no surprise that she's won this honor. The real surprise is that it's taken this long. Again, congratulations to our Teacher of the Year candidates. I'm going to miss the ceremony, but I don't miss the anticipation. I know Chair Swanson had a full day of interviews with many, many tough decisions to make, and I'm glad you're making that decision and not myself. Finally, I do want to, I want to congratulate the schools that have both the Wake STEM and Millbrook and the C-SPAN documentary program that Ms. Edmonds referenced. If you don't know about this really is a fantastic program. It is supported by local sponsors who support the students in this work, and they really put out professionally professional quality documentaries on a variety of subjects. And we've had students here locally that have gone on to win national awards and national recognition at the next level of that contest. So again, I do want to raise that up. And then what I do mean is the final one. We had the recognition at the beginning of the meeting, and you didn't see as much of it, but when we talk about the RAMP certification, hopefully all of you by now have been contacted by one of your schools to assist in that RAMP certification process. And if you have, you know it can be very educational and very rewarding, because you can see how our counseling staff will identify and address a real issue in the school that needs attention and needs improvement, and come up with really creative and innovative ways to do that work. And, you know, I'd encourage you to go back and follow up with them and see how their projects have done. Because, you know, they measure the success, they report back, they make changes, and oftentimes they're very successful, but when they're not successful, they learn, they adapt, and they see what needs to be changed. So, again, just more appreciation for the great work that our school counselors and support staff do. And with that, I'll turn it back over to you, Mr. Chair.
Thank you, Mr. Haggerty, and don't worry, I have all of you all covered because I'll be at all 34 ceremonies. So when one can't be there, I will step in for all. Vice Chair Hershey.
Thank you, Chair Swanson. There's really nothing left to say about Dr. Walker except congratulations. You know, she leads really the best principals in Wake County and District 6. We got a lot of them in District 6. They're fantastic, and I want to just congratulate all of them on another wonderful year. But Dr. Walker really is an amazing principal, and I also want to congratulate Area Superintendent Cedric Williams for hiring her and making the recommendation. And it takes that, and he was smart enough to do that. And you know, it's something that I know he's really proud of, and it's a big deal. And I just want to acknowledge him. And he recognized the talent early on, and that's great for Wake County Public Schools to have people like Mr. Williams in place to go through that process, and all of our area superintendents have to do that, and they've done a really great job. All of them really have. I mean, we have some amazing principals here, and it's not an easy task, and so I just want to give them some credit, and especially Mr. Williams. I want to thank, this is really not in District 6, but in Mr. Haggerty's district. I want to thank Raleigh Mayor Janet Cowell for coming to Jeffreys Grove to talk about the sidewalk. It's been an issue at that school, and she brought a number of people from the Raleigh staff, and so it's really appreciated. I know as an elected official, I notice when other elected officials show up and participate. And with that in mind, I was at the Ligon Legacy Committee, and want to thank Stormy Fort, I'm sorry, City Councilor, Raleigh City Councilor Stormy Fort, and oh man. Yeah, Corey Branch was there, thank you. And then Commissioners Tara Waters and Commissioner Chair Don Mile was there as well. And it really means something when our elected officials show up. I think that's a big part of being an elected official, is showing up. And when they show up to Wake County Public School events, it means a lot to me, and so I would like to acknowledge them. As we get into celebrating these graduations, I want to point out that it would be amazing if we had the calendar flexibility to line up all of our high schools with Wake Tech, and that's really the graduations that are coming up on Thursday and Friday have that ability, and with Knightdale and Southeast Raleigh and the Wake Tech schools and the Wake Leadership schools, they're aligned with colleges. It's fantastic. In my view, I would love the General Assembly to give us that option, so then as a board and as a community and listening to our teachers and our amazing staff have that conversation to see how we would actually align calendars. I think that would be a great benefit to not only Wake County Public Schools, but all the public schools in the state of North Carolina. And with that, I yield my comments back to the board chair.
All right, and I'm going to recognize the board attorney for his remarks. We're doing something a little different tonight. So, Board Attorney Malone. I almost said Board Chair Malone.
District 10, yes. I don't really have any remarks. I just wanted to recognize that tonight with me is Lindy Gupton. She's a Wake Forest University law school student. She's interning with us this summer. Her father is Robert Gupton, one of your principals at Mary Phillips. It's not a requirement to work at Darrington Smith, but it certainly helps. So anyway, I just wanted to introduce her and let you know that she was here tonight. Thank you.
Of course, thank you. So, just like all of you all, I have also been busy zigzagging across District 9, and so I will first have to apologize because I missed or I RSVP'd to attend the CNN event and then realized it also fell on the same night and the same time as the Cary Navy JROTC change of command, where myself and Dr. Chavis was there, and I did not know I was going to be an honorary inspector, and so it was great just to see those students. And for the 26th year, the Navy JROTC at Cary High has won the most distinguished unit, and that's the highest that they can, and so that is amazing. And so just seeing the leadership that's there and the students was outstanding. Also had an opportunity to attend the Cary Chambers Honor a Teacher Night, and so I wanted to thank the Chamber and those business leaders who sponsored those awards and recognize all the teachers and schools across all of Cary. So grateful for their partnership. Also want to thank, I had an opportunity to, with the Vice Chair, Superintendent, and Dr. Hill and Ms. Allred, and Mr. Williams. I feel like I had 2 days back-to-back with Mr. Williams at Bridges program, and so I just want to thank Ms. Bowling for welcoming us into Bridgers, where we were able to engage and invite some legislators from both chambers, bipartisan, of course, as we were fighting and getting some changes done with special education. So I wanted to thank Senator Batch, Representative Johnson-Hostler, Representative Perret, Representative Sheetselt, and Fred Aiken, who was Senator Blue's Chief of Staff. I almost said Senator Aiken, but Senator Blue's Chief of Staff, Mr. Aiken, who stood in his place as we are really putting and shifting that narrative around special education and getting the General Assembly to have those conversations. I also wanted to thank Dr. Ng for his advocacy, although he wasn't able to join us, was advocating and making calls as well. So I thank you for that, Dr. Ng. And I know it's been a long evening. I had a couple other remarks, so I will also need to say I wanted to thank the Davis Drive Elementary PTA for hosting a advocacy day in the park, which was something new. I was there speaking about the importance of education and the nuances with it, because every time folks understand and hear budgets, it's very complicated when you have state funding, local funding, and federal funding. And so really want to thank the PTA president and their advocacy chair for pulling this together and having something very unique. So it was representatives from the town of Cary, Commissioner Stallings was there, and we talked about the working relationships and the commitments that all of us have to education, how we are true partners into this work. And so if there's any other, I keep saying there's other things, I should have had a list, but I have to thank Principal Lori Nelson at Briarcliff Elementary, who I think just knew that I needed to be grounded and whatnot after a difficult budget cycle that we participated in. And so it's always great to visit schools, and in particular, the Briarcliff Elementary School had their cultural arts, where every school, every classroom was able to pick a theme that they learned. And so it was beautiful to see all of the great arts and the lessons that they were doing that encompasses all the great countries. And so have to give a shout out to Principal Nelson and the art teacher for just making the school arts. I mean, they are I mean, they're little artists. Their work looks so much better than the little stick figures that I did back in the day. And so just wanted to thank her for that and going from there. So if there's anything else I missed, because I'm sure there is, just charge it to my head and not my heart. And so with that, I will entertain a motion to go into closed session for the reasons stated on the agenda. Mr. Vice Chair?
Motion to go to closed sessions for the reasons stated on the
It's a
agenda.
motion on the table. Is there a second? Seconded from Ms. Gordon. All those in favor of the motion, let it be known by the sign of aye. Opposed, same signs. The ayes have it. We are in closed session.